going on? This camera's about to die, and I only have one battery. Look at this. Sick. Sick over the weekend. Let's get into it. I might have to record the rest of this on my phone, but good morning. Yeah, so I got this old camera out after a long time. I'm looking at my MacBook recording this from my phone with the microphone right there. Pretty cool. I got this camera out and I have 4 or 5 batteries for this, but they're all dead, and the only one that I found was half dead, so I've been using that for the last 3 days. And I was charging another battery this morning and thought it was charging, go to plug it in, completely dead. I was off by a millimeter of getting it to fully charge. So now it's charging, so hopefully tomorrow or later today we will have a fully charged battery. But anyway, and maybe that goes into the video today. Let me get my angle just right. Let me pan around a little bit. This looks nice. This looks way better than my webcam. Cool. I wanted to talk today about my philosophy that I've been thinking about. First off, good morning. It is Monday, September 23. Had my birthday over the weekend. The entire family was sick this weekend. Sucks. But we'll do a more official birthday later this week when we're all healthy. You being sick as a parent, both parents sick and both kids sick, don't recommend it. It's one thing to have a sick kid. It's another thing to you be sick as well and try to take care of a sick kid. I don't recommend it. I don't wish that on anyone. Let's get into it. Let's talk about my philosophy. My one philosophy that I have had throughout my career. And I don't know if it's survivor's bias or just I'm here today and I've gotten where I've gotten because of this one philosophy, and that is speed. And not being fast at finishing your work or fast at doing something, but just speed to action. You have an idea, you have a strategy, we talked about goal setting in the previous video. You put your goals together, you put your little sprint together, your 2-week sprint together, and how quickly can you execute that? Like, it's a 2-week sprint to add that pressure, but can you do everything within a week? Can you do everything within a couple days? That's been my overarching philosophy in work, running a business, even being a full-time employee. And with speed to execution, I think there's a couple things inside of it. One is speed to learning how to do something and not being afraid of kind of going out into open water and trying to figure something out, something that is unknown. A lot of folks will get paralyzed by that. They will just not know. I think a lot of folks can get paralyzed by it. Like, hey, go learn a new software, or like this year I learned how to use Framer.com. Never used it before. I've never used Figma before. I know that was like, it's like Figma, and I always been seeing other people use Figma, and I was like, okay, I gotta probably need to learn how to use Figma in my design career. But learned how to use Figma, and then the speed with that is not being afraid to dive into it, and then trying to become a master as quickly as possible so that you are at the level where your skills don't get in the way of your vision that you're trying to execute. So with Framer, for example, it is watching every video I can, and then watching, testing, watching, testing. It's not just study, read a book, watch all the videos. It's study it, understand it, and then try to do it in your everyday life. Try to do it as a test, because I think that's the number one thing. It's one thing to learn, and I think a lot of people get addicted to learning. I'm addicted to learning. 2 years ago, I had my reading habit where in 1 year I read 50 books, and that sounds impressive, but really it was more procrastination. It was instead of doing the thing, I just want to learn how to do the thing. I just want to, I just need one more book to understand how this works. And then once I understand how this works, then I can go and then I can execute. Then I can start taking action. So I cut all that out. And then, 2 years ago, I had my reading habit, cut that habit out. I don't read a book anymore. Or books work for me. I don't work for my books, so to speak. But so there's two sides with the speed. It's how quickly can you learn to do a skill? How quickly can you become adept at using that skill? And then the other side of the coin is how quickly can you execute? How quickly can you take that knowledge or that idea and put it into action or put it into a test? And I think that's how you have to think about a lot of things when running your business. If you're a startup founder right now, how quickly and how many tests can you run this year? Or we have 100 days left this year. How many small little tests can you run? Little experiments can you run in your business to test out, to see what works? Because you don't know what will work or what won't work unless you test it and unless you are fast enough to get it up and running. So if you are a technical founder, for example, I'm always talking about this on this channel. If you're a technical founder and marketing is something that is a foreign language to you, how quickly can you learn marketing? Can you take an online course real quick, study everything, download a kit, and be good enough at marketing to where you could at least follow the steps? Like, it's almost like a recipe. Like, you don't have to become a master chef, but can you study it, watch enough food videos, and then read the recipe and say, okay, from a couple videos that I watch, I think I can do that, and do it sloppily, make mistakes along the way, not be perfect on the first attempt. It would be insane to get it perfect on the first attempt. So how can you do that? How can you take that knowledge, apply that knowledge, test it out, learn from it, and then do it all over? And one thing that's unsaid with this, and speaking personally about, again, how I've done it in my career, is yes, it's speed, execution, iterating, learning quickly, all of that. But I think underneath all of that, you have to kind of be obnoxious, or I won't say narcissist, but you have to have this, I always thought about this, what Casey Neistat said a long time ago in one of his videos about why to vlog, or when you're vlogging, or I think he was talking about like talking in public. He's like, you have to have a level of ego to believe that you are the person to be doing this, to believe that it's my job, or I'm the one that's going to do this, or I believe I'm the only person that can do this. You have to have that level of ego and use it to your advantage. So if you are egotistical, or you're not egotistical, for me, I'm a little egotistical, but I can be aware of my ego and have a little self-inflated, and use that self-inflated ego to my advantage, and not let my big ego get in the way of doing what I want to do or trying to execute. It's like I'm taking that, like, yes, being aware, I understand, I'm a little selfish or a little narcissistic, or I can be a little like, I want to be the center of attention, and instead of using it in a bad way, absorb it, understand it, and then put it towards something productive, like being on camera. Or if you're running a startup, like, you know what? We are going to launch this feature. We are going to launch this project. You know, damn it, that we are going to put the shit on Product Hunt, because I believe that this is the moment. This is what I believe that we need to be doing right now. And we are the people to do it. That's the attitude you have to have. So it's speed, execution, iterating, learning fast, but underneath all of that, that's kind of like pushing it all up, is this self-belief that I can do this and that I'm the one to do this. Not that, let me make a finer point on that. It's not that I can do this or I have motivation and I believe in myself. It's I am the one to do this. It's me. I'm the only one that can do this. It's just me here that can do this. A little bit more dark, but it fucking works. That's how I do it. That's how I approach life. Yeah. So let's wrap it up there. That's our life lesson for today. Go execute, believe that you're the one, iterate, do it all over again, test, make mistakes, don't be perfect. We'll see you on the next one.